All right, folks, gather round. The United States military just dropped the hammer on a decision that is going to send shockwaves through every single gun shop, manufacturing floor, and reloading bench in this country. The brass has officially signed the paperwork on a new combat round for our boys on the front lines. And let me tell you, it is not the caliber the keyboard warriors have been arguing about for the last decade. While everyone was busy debating stopping power versus capacity, the Army went ahead and flipped the table. They didn't just pick a new bullet, they rewrote the laws of physics for small arms. This isn't just a fresh coat of paint on the M4 platform. This is a total revolution in how we deliver kinetic energy downrange. We are talking about a cartridge built specifically for the nightmare scenario of 21st century warfare. I have been tracking this development from the early prototype days, looking at the ballistics data and seeing how this hardware runs in the real world. So, let's cut through the noise and break down the new heavyweight champion that is about to change the face of modern combat. The big reveal, the 277 Fury. Here is the headline. The round that just got the green light for duty is the 6.8 by 51 millimeter. In the civilian world, you guys know this as the 277 SIG Fury. Now, clear your head of any ideas about the 300 Blackout or some obscure Wildcat load cooked up in a garage. This is a factory-built beast. We are looking at a 140-grain projectile screaming out of the barrel at 3,000 feet per second. Do the math, and you are looking at nearly 2,800 foot-pounds of energy right at the muzzle. To give you some context, your standard 5.56 NATO load is pushing about 1,300 foot-pounds. This new kid on the block is delivering double the punch. But here is the secret sauce. It is the pressure. This cartridge operates at 80,000 psi. That is not a misprint. Most of the rifles in your safe top out around 60,000. To keep the gun from turning into a hand grenade, the engineers at SIG developed a hybrid case. They used a stainless steel base to hold that massive pressure, fused to a brass body for smooth feeding and extraction. Without that steel head, you would blow out the primer pocket and wreck your bolt face in a heartbeat. This tech allows for lethal hits well past 600 meters. It is hitting harder at 1,000 yards than a 5.56 does at 500. This is not an upgrade. This is a new definition of dominance. Long reach, heavy hits. So, why are we dumping the 5.56 NATO? Simple. It ran out of steam. We are not just fighting guys in t-shirts anymore. We are looking at near-peer threats rocking level 3 and level 4 body armor. The 5.56 is a great varmint round, but against ceramic plates at distance, it just does not get the job done. The reports from the field were loud and clear. Our troops were getting outranged, and they were having to dump half a mag to put a threat down. That is a failure in terminal ballistics. Modern warfare demands overmatch. You need to be able to reach out, touch the bad guy, and punch through his gear before he can get a bead on you. The 6.8 by 51 millimeter does exactly that. It gives you the speed and the sectional density to defeat armor way out past 600 meters. We are moving away from spray and pray and getting back to one-shot, fight-stopping effectiveness.
Why ditch the 5.56? Let's stack it up against the old guard. The 5.56 NATO has been the standard since Vietnam. It is light, low recoil, and you can carry a ton of it. A soldier can easily hump 730-round mags. Then you have the 7.62 NATO. It hits hard, but it is heavy, and the recoil will beat you up over a long day of shooting. The 6.8 lands right in the Goldilocks zone. The ammo weighs about the same as 7.62, but you are getting Magnum-level performance with recoil that is actually manageable. We are talking about 15 foot-pounds of recoil energy. Stout, sure, but totally controllable with good mechanics. Yes, the new rifle, the XM7, runs 20-round magazines. But when every trigger pull is a guaranteed thump, you don't need to send as much lead downrange. The 5.56 is gassed out at 300 yards. The 7.62 is good to 800. But this new 6.8, it stays supersonic and lethal way out in the deep water.
How it measures up. Picture this scenario. You are a squad leader, and you spot movement at 500 yards. With an M4, you are thinking about suppression. With the 6.8, you are thinking about elimination. You line up the shot, send it, and you know that round is going to arrive with authority. It changes the entire psychology of the firefight. And we cannot ignore the accessories. These new rifles are coming standard with suppressors. That means less flash, less concussion, and better communication for the team. Plus, they are running the XM157 fire control unit. Don't call it a scope. This thing is a ballistic computer strapped to your rail. It ranges the target, checks the wind, measures the air density, and gives you a firing solution. It is basically an aimbot for real life. Paired with this high-velocity round, our infantry is going to be making hits that used to be reserved for snipers.
What it means for the warfighter. This isn't just a barrel swap. The Army is rolling out the M7 rifle to replace the M4. It is a short-stroke gas piston system, built to handle that 80,000 psi pressure. It keeps the dirty gas out of the action, which means it runs cooler and cleaner than your standard D1 gun. Then you have the M250 light machine gun. This belt-fed monster is replacing the SAW. It is lighter, hits harder, and provides accurate long-range fire that can actually penetrate cover. The training is changing too. Army ranges are stretching out to 1,500 meters. We are teaching guys to be data-driven shooters, managing ballistics computers and sensors instead of just using holdovers and hope. The modern infantryman is becoming a precision weapons operator.
New platforms, new doctrine. Now, for us on the civilian side, this is getting interesting. The commercial 277 Fury is already on the shelves. I have seen it, and it is a serious piece of engineering. If you are a hunter, this is the round you have been dreaming of. Flat trajectory, massive energy retention. You can drop an elk at 600 yards and have full confidence in the terminal performance. But, brace your wallet. That hybrid case is expensive to make. Reloading it? That is going to be a headache until the tool manufacturers catch up. You need specialized gear to resize that steel base. But as the military ramps up production, prices will come down, and we will see more bolt guns and gas guns chambered for it. Myth-busting the 6.8. Let's kill some rumors right now. I have seen the forum posts. Myth 1. Smaller caliber means less power. Wrong. Velocity is king here. The energy transfer on this thing is terrifying. It is not a step down from a .30 caliber. It is a leap forward. Myth 2. It is just old tech. False. Nobody in World War II was running 80,000 psi chamber pressures. This is cutting-edge metallurgy. Myth 3. We don't need it. Tell that to the guys who watched 5.56 rounds bounce off armor plates overseas. This was a necessary evolution. And myth 4. The ammo is too heavy. Look, you carry less, but you do more with it. Quality over quantity. That is the new doctrine. Looking ahead. This cartridge is the spark that is going to ignite a whole new arms race. The Army is leading the way, but the rest of the DoD is watching. The biggest hurdle is going to be NATO. Our allies are sitting on warehouses full of 5.56. The 6.8 requires a totally different industrial base to make those steel brass cases. We might see a split where the US runs the high-pressure stuff and everyone else plays catch-up. For us civilian shooters, the real prize is the technology. Imagine this hybrid case tech applied to other calibers. A 308 or a 6.5 Creedmoor running at 80,000 psi? That would breathe new life into every rifle in your safe. This is just the first inning of a whole new ball game in ballistics. So I want to hear from you guys. Is the 6.8 the future of freedom, or is it just another expensive military experiment? Would you trust this high-pressure system in your go-to rifle? Let me know down in the comments section. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next review. Train hard, stay safe, and I will see you on the range.